Hi, Mike from Mike's Carburetor Parts. I'm going to be rebuilding this marine carburetor. This is a Mercarb, and so we're going to start with a disassembly of it. I'd like to point out how to figure out which carburetor kit you need for it, and that's pretty simple. You just get the carburetor number, which is stamped in the side of the float bowl here. 807312 is the number of this carburetor. I would put that in my search box on my website and it should come up with the correct kit. And so you also may have a tag on it. Now if you can't find the number anywhere, then you'll have to match it up by the picture, and there happens to be two different kits for the Mercarb. And it's the difference in the two are the accelerator pump, and I'll get into that when I get it open here. Anyway, so some people confuse the Mercarb with the Rochester 2-jet. They're not the same at all. Totally different designs. And how you can tell real quick is the Mercarb will have one idle mixer screw on it. The 2-jet will have two idle mixer screws, so that's how you can tell. Alright, so let's start with the fuel filter here. Take the inlet off. You have this little screen that comes, you get a new one in the kit, and you got a little, your gasket goes right there. You have a spring, don't forget that. I get a lot of carburetors without the spring. Okay, so this here is your accelerator pump. Excuse me. Anyway, this is your accelerator pump rod. I took the clip out of the bottom already, and we'll leave it like that for now. And let's see, let's start taking the I was lucky to find this carburetor. I just found it, and it's just like brand new. These aren't real difficult carburetors to rebuild. Fairly simple. Get your digital camera out and take a lot of pictures while you're disassembling. So if you have a question, you can quickly refer to the picture and figure out what you need to know. That's assuming that whoever put it back together the last time did everything they were supposed to correctly. It can be a big assumption at times. And we have our electric choke. We do carry electric chokes for these things. And it's pretty simple. You got 12 volts going to it. It's grounded off of the carburetor, so if you put a 12 volt source here and ground it, this will heat up and you'll see it move. So okay, we'll leave that bracket on there. I missed a screw down here. There's a lot of black paint on this one, so some of these screws are a little hard to get loose. Yep. I have a little plastic bin I put my parts in so that I don't lose anything. Let's see, that does not have to come out. Okay, that should come apart. Oh, let me finish here. This is our fast idle cam. Boy, everything's fitting tight here. So I got to get my persuader out, and sometimes just hitting it a few times is all we need to do. Yep, that'll knock it loose. It's easy to strip this stuff, so take your time, use the proper tools. You see how this comes apart right here? There's no clip on it. Okay. Bang this thing apart. Be careful where you hit this. See, am I forgetting something? No. Anyway, you want to be careful. You know, don't bang it on here. All right, something's wrong. Now this is basically two pieces. You got the top and you got the bottom. I guess it's just the paint holding it. Well, I'm going to have to work on this a little bit. I'm going to turn off the camera for now and see if I can figure out what's going on. I'll turn it back on. I am back. Okay, it was just a matter of this thing being glued together from the paint. So I finally got it loose. I just kept working on it. I didn't want to spend all the video time up. I think somebody put something on the gasket to glue the thing together. Pretty stupid. That's what they did. Well, this is a nice carburetor inside. Looks like brand. Look at that. I'm wondering if this was ever put on a boat. Now, I don't think there's ever been gas put in here. That's pretty cool. I just found this carburetor. I made a previous video on rebuilding this thing, and I got a couple complaints because it was too dark, so I didn't have any more cores. Well, I found this one this last weekend. It was a nice find. So I'm taking the venturi out. Oops. And yeah, everything wants to stick together on this thing. Okay, this has a little washer on it, which is normal. It also has a little gasket goes under it. I just want to point that out. There will be a gasket here. And this thing is going to be there. Okay. There's your venturi. So on figuring out which kit, like I say, there are two, and the difference is in the accelerator pump. You see this one has a 90-degree hook on the top here. That's one kit. If it's straight, has no hook on it, that's the other kit, and that's explained fully on my website for the two kits. So anyway, that's how you would determine if you don't have it. That's That will tell you exactly what you need to know. There are some kits out in this world that have both accelerator pumps in there, and but they're so cheaply made, you're asking for trouble. So just a little C-clip. There's a needle and seat, by the way, and this one is a spring-loaded one. There are 2 needle and seats. I believe the kit will come with 2 different needle and seats, and there's an explanation in there on how to figure out which one to use. They've had some problems in the past with the Mercarb, and that's why there's 2 different needle and seats. Anyway, it's well explained in there. Why I can't get that off. Get as wide as screwdriver as you can get in there for these seats. Everything on this carburetor is coming off hard. Oh, gee. Sometimes just banging the screws. There you go. Is enough to get them loose. Okay. Shield. The power piston has to be able to go up and down very easily. By the way, when you flick it like this enough, it'll probably come out. Anyway, these need to be very loose because it's only vacuum that makes them work. Be careful about prying on them because they do break off rather easily. Anyway, this just kind of pressed in there, and sometimes they have them kind of tacked right here, so you have to go through with I may just have to work on this later. I don't want to take up the whole show here. Anyhow, usually I just flick these enough and they'll finally pop out. This one here, as you can see, is real nice. Now if you're worried about yours, you can spray like silicone spray lubricant in here and work with it until it's real loose, and that's what you're looking for. Now, this little C-clip, you can also use a horseshoe clip that you may have in your kit. I'm not sure if this kind of a clip that's on here now comes in the kits or not. I don't remember right offhand. I don't have a kit in front of me. More than one way to skin the cat here. We'll just take you take this loose, be sure you understand where your lever is so you can get it on the same way. Notice the little washer that goes in here, little plastic washer. So there we go. I'll work on that. Okay, we take our choke housing off, just 2 screws. short lever has to come off. Okay, except for this. Well, we may not take it out. It's certainly working good right now, so we'll take a look at it later. Sometimes my cleaner boy. So this is your power valve at the bottom, and this is operated by this. When you're at idle or low speed, you have the most vacuum, and this will be pulled up by the vacuum, and that makes this closed. And as you speed up, you lose vacuum. This will come down and press on the little stem here and allow more fuel to run into your venturi. One other quick thing to point out. There are two types of this accelerator pump here. One has a check ball, one doesn't. This one doesn't, and it's pretty easy to see. There's nowhere to put a check ball down there, and if there was a check ball, it would have a little retaining screen that goes in there to hold the check ball in. This is your main discharge right here, and it simply pulls out. Sometimes you have to play with them a little bit. This one should come right out. It's in there loose. This could be staked over a little bit on the edge. You don't need to stake them very much, just enough to hold them down. But basically the gasket does, so not a big deal. And you get a new T and a spring. And there is a check ball down there. Should be. Interesting. No check ball. Somebody forgot the check ball. So now we know why this one didn't work unless it fell out. There should be a check ball in here. Yeah, if you have two check balls, this one will be the bigger of the two. That's what you put in there. Okay? So that's as far as you need to take this off. Now, this one is so new. I usually take these apart and get these all cleaned up, and you can do that too if you want, especially if you have any kind of corrosion. You know, if it's moving okay and doesn't look corroded, I wouldn't worry about it too much, because you have a good chance of breaking your screw off when you're trying to get it out, and that's more trouble than it's worth. At any rate, if you do need to take it off, grind the screws down flush with the shaft, and then you may have to do just like I've been doing here, is you get your screwdriver on here and give them a bang, a little bit of a bang. Be careful you don't break your shaft, and that'll get them loose. So just take your time, because you don't want to be drilling and tapping. We got to get the idle mixer screw out. This is included in our kit also. You get a new power valve, as I recall. So there you go. So you can stop right here, and we will put this in our cleaner and let it clean, and we'll come back and we'll put it back together.